Do you see a Tesla stock repurchase occurring soon? There has been a lot of demand from investors for a stock repurchase. An analyst says that in the event that this occurs, a Tesla stock buyback will be feasible. Remember this information. If Tesla were to produce 10 million automobiles annually at an operational profit of $15,000 per vehicle, the annual operating profit would come to $150 billion, and it would equal $4.5 trillion if investors took a 30 multiple off of that. The majority of Tesla's fictitious $150 billion operational profit, according to Tesla booster Dave Lee, may likely be used for stock buybacks. As was already mentioned, many Tesla investors want to see a repurchase of shares. A stock buyback, what is it? A stock buyback, sometimes called a share repurchase, is when a business uses its accrued cash to buy back its shares from the market. A repurchase of stock enables a business to invest back into itself. There are fewer outstanding shares on the market as a result of the company absorbing the shares that were repurchased. A repurchase increases each investor's proportion of ownership by lowering the total number of outstanding shares, which benefits shareholders. Rather than diluting shareholder wealth, the corporation concentrates it in the case of a buyback. A stock buyback also helps corporations since it can replace dividends, maintain stock prices, and consolidate ownership. Since they get their money back, investors can profit. Repurchases, however, aren't always advantageous to investors. Even in May, as the price of the company's shares continued to decline, Leo Kogawan, the third largest individual shareholder in Tesla stock, urged the EV manufacturer to declare a $15 billion stock buyback. Sending a tweet to Tesla's head of investor relations, Martin Vicha, Kogu previously stated that the business needs to make public its intentions to repurchase $5 billion of Tesla stock this year and $10 billion the following year. He went on to say that Tesla should pay the repurchase using its free cash flow and not deplete its current cash holdings of $18 billion. Tesla's free cash flow for the first quarter of the year was $2.2 billion, according to a second tweet from Kogawan. He continued by saying that after capital expenditures are taken into account, he anticipates it to rise to $8 billion this year and $17 billion the next year. Additionally, he stated that Tesla may repurchase its cheap stock in addition to investing in additional factories its Optimus bought, and fully. Autonomous driving. In 2021, Leo Kogawan discreetly accumulated one of the largest holdings in Elon Musk's business. Despite being a millionaire in his own right, Kogawan revealed in a September 2021 tweet that the estimated worth of his holdings increased to $4 billion, $5 billion, and ultimately over $7 billion in that same year. Kogawan tweeted, "I believe in Elon's great mission beginning in the second week of October." There was talk of a potential repurchase when Musk replied to a tweet from Kogawan that stated, "Tesla is having a P/E ratio compression that can be solved only by a buyback and/or by 2x earnings increase." Musk only said, noted in response, stoking rumors that Tesla would undertake its first ever share repurchase. Leo Kogawan, an Indonesian billionaire and founder of She International, has been a longtime supporter of Tesla and presently holds over 23,201,500 shares of the EV manufacturer. Leo Kogawan has reportedly been a vocal supporter of Tesla's share purchase. If Tesla is able to complete a $1 trillion repurchase between 2026 and 2023, Kogawan predicts that the company's market capitalization will reach enormous heights by 2030. Kogawan asked Tesla to repurchase 100 billion shares between 2022 and 2026, and then 1 trillion shares between 2026 and 2030 in a tweet. According to the wealthy investor, Tesla will remove 1 billion shares from the 3.14 billion shares that are currently accessible, bringing the total number of outstanding shares down to about 2.14 billion if it buys back its shares between 2026 and 2030 for $1,000 a share. As fewer shares become available to investors, the price of the stock may surge from $3,000 to $5,000 a share. Kogawan tweeted that he intended to reverse Elon Musk's recent sales of more Tesla shares, which totaled over $35.7 billion. Tesla, Elon, or both of them buy back $35.7 billion, which is a substantial sum. Due to Tesla's cash availability, I only suggest $5 to $10 billion buybacks this year in order to maintain robust reserves for emergencies without taking out loans or issuing bonds. Kogawan is still optimistic about Tesla, though. Coco1 posted, "My conviction is unwavering on the same day. Tesla rises and falls with me. 52,300 shares were acquired. I have 23,306,200 lucky shares as a blessing, according to Tesla bull Dave Lee. A buyback of Tesla stock is not as implausible as some people would have you believe. According to Lee, Tesla could generate an operating profit of $150 billion annually if it could produce 10 million vehicles annually at a cost of $15,000. And it would equal $4.5 trillion if investors took a 30 multiple off of that. As for the potential $150 billion operating profit, Lee believes Tesla could likely repurchase stock with the majority of that cash. Lee went on to say that since Tesla doesn't need a lot of capital expenditures, 80 to 90% of that money might go towards stock buybacks. Assume that Tesla is able to repurchase $150 billion worth of stock annually. That's roughly $600 to $750 billion over the course of 4 or 5 years. Not even the $1 trillion that Kogwan Leo is proposing. Unfortunately, there are a number of variables at work here. First, Tesla can increase operational profit per vehicle if the FSD is a true success. For instance, Tesla may make up to $25,000 in operating profit every car. Operating profitability might increase to $250 billion annually with the addition of 10 million automobiles annually. That comes out to $1 trillion to $1.25 trillion spread over 4 or 5 years. Tesla might repurchase $1 trillion throughout that time if that occurs. Another component that could potentially benefit Tesla is the humanoid robot called Optimus. Tesla will sell Optimus if it is a huge hit and can ramp it up faster than most anticipate, maybe by 2028 or 2029, just off of Optimus Tesla would have. Operating earnings of $400 billion if they could sell 20 million humanoid robots in a year and earn about 20% of operating profit for each one. That comes to much over $1 trillion when spread over 4 years. Tesla may repurchase stock using such authority, but keep in mind that Tesla's performance will have a significant impact on this assumption. Among other things, Tesla CEO Elon Musk discussed a stock repurchase on the company's most recent Q3 results call. At the board level, the stock repurchase plan has been discussed in great detail. In general, the board believes that conducting a repurchase, but first we want to make sure that the proper procedures are followed. However, Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, stated that a repurchase of between $5 and $10 billion is undoubtedly feasible. Musk clarified that Tesla still has the capacity to undertake a $5 to $10 billion buyback, even in the worst-case scenario for the upcoming year, even though 2023 might turn out to be a challenging year. It is apparent that this is currently awaiting board approval and scrutiny. It's likely that we'll do some meaningful buyback, Musk stated. While the market team is primarily concerned with the short term, he continued, it is crucial to concentrate on the long term. Kogwan referenced a Tesla robo-taxi's profit model in yet another tweet. According to him, Tesla could create its own tiny robot taxi and make 200% profit annually by selling the car to private owners for $100,000 per FSD and charging between 20% and 40% in fees. If Tesla is able to execute this plan well, Kogwan thinks that the returns will be very beneficial to the stockholders. Kogwan asserts that he is more optimistic about Tesla's future than the majority of Tesla bulls. Kogwan shares Musk's belief that Tesla will have a spectacular fourth quarter of this year. Leo Kogwan, the third largest individual stakeholder of Tesla, is rumored to have acquired a fortune by making a major investment in the company recently. Kogwan, the creator of She International and It company, was included in the Forbes 400 for 2022. Kogwan announced that he presently owns 23,306,200 Tesla shares in a tweet on November 9th, 2022. Without taking out a bank loan, I established She International in 1989, which is currently a $14.5 billion private firm. Why? We construct negative working capital models just like Tesla. Leo Kogwan tweeted, our employees are 3 times more productive than our competitors because they have access to information at their fingertips. If you want to receive updates on Tesla stock, be sure to subscribe to this channel.